Qualifying and pre-qualifying brought many shock results, as several cars that most people had written off as not having a shot at making the grid at all had actually made it through not only pre-qualifying, but onto the grid of the round of Decatur itself. The problem is that most of these new drivers have no experience behind the wheel of a TM Master Cup Series car prior to this weekend. Adrian Devereaux said that he predicts some carnage, especially from the newer drivers, who he believes could be a liability when being lapped. Serena Baccharo and Elma Fox in particular were noted for several off-track excursions in practice, and Chris Davenport had a number of collisions as well. Dan, off to you for the starting lineup. Thank you, Lance. Taking out the Delano Pole Award in car number 14 is Arto Kekkonen in the launch Inglesby. On the outside of the front row is Tom Delgado, who has been re-signed with that team for next year. Row 2 is Adrian Devereaux going for the championship in the Hodges-Walter 26 and Chris Johans. Row 3 is Zelda Ashby and Jacques Bouvier, who's going for Rookie of the Year. Mike Whitmore heads up row 4 with Leonid Roderick, a 4-time series champion, going for championship number 5 this weekend. Matthias Taub on row 5 with Chris Davenport, the surprise, in the top 10. Row 6, Lewis Kingston and Alan Hodges, who is contending for the championship and has a very realistic shot at it. Yamino Tenchi made her debut here last year, and Yulia Nasova gives a great run for the Katsev. Kurt Pliskin in the Power Steering Incorporated 16, and Danny Savin won this race last year. Scott Stoidler and Leon Kennison did not expect to be this far up the grid, and on row 10 is David Krikorian and a surprise qualifier in Jared Anderson in the Griesberger Omeka. Row 11, Ethan Everett and Marcus Leonard. Leonard going for the championship, but his hopes have dimmed after a poor qualifying showing. Tony Durbin leads the points coming into this race. All he needs is a solid run, and Alexei Stoyanovich in the 041. Michael Sykes, the Independence Trophy winner, and Serena Baccharo. In row 13, row 14, Dale Roswell and Gaspar de Souza. Row 15 is Anthony Griffith and Scott Bates. Griffith is making his debut. His father, Troy, is a former Cup driver. Hamilton West and Patrick Eicholtz are driving a Juno and an Eicholtz chassis, both making their first starts this week, and same as Shane Lake, and Avery Holtzman debuts the Gessler. Row 18 is where you'll find Alexis Rainsford going for her second championship, and Hawk Slider in the 70. Row 19, Justin Robinson and Philip Moreland both making their debuts. Fairly clean weekends for those two. And Elmer Fox and Mika Turvo in row 20. Fox is a U.S. racing legend. And on row 21, Stephanie McGlynn and Drew Eisenman both had problems in qualifying that kept them from setting a time. Arto Kekkonen is going to lead the field to the green in that blue and yellow car. Tom Delgado in that red, black, and blue 837. The Nomoto team has really had a meteoric rise this year. Arto comes down and leads the field, and we are green at Decatur. And it's a clean start for the most part. I think there's a gold car chopping over. I think it's Danny Savin. Look out, turn 1. Oh, clean at the front. Tom Delgado gives Adrian Devereaux plenty of room. And we have trouble in the back, though. Someone didn't make it that clean. A couple cars spinning. We're going to have a look. Ethan Everett missed the shift on the start. Car number 11 in trouble. David Krikorian in the 9 is who we're watching right now. There's someone way out of line. Oh, McGlynn! Marcus Leonard's in it. So is Kurt Pliskin, Jared Anderson. Oh, gets hit by Hawk Slider in the Duncan. So there are massive pile up here. There's a big hole there. McGlynn goes for it, hits the brakes way too late, and just piles over a couple of cars. Jared Anderson in that 910, Kurt Pliskin in that black 16 car. Even though the number badge is white, that is a black car this week. On board, Marcus Leonard. Well, this isn't doing his championship hopes any good. Leonard said he had to do something a little bit out of the box in order to win. There's Stoyanovich in the green and gold 041. There goes Holtzman. So Marcus in trouble already, but looks like not too much damage in that. Oh! Gaspar de Souza got into, and Drew Eisenman made contact with a couple other cars. Minor stack up there. Scott Stoidler's race has gone sour already. Anthony Griffith in the 08 car runs wide, collected by Shane Lake and Elmer Fox, backs it into the wall, into the Armco, and that is day is done because he ruptured the fuel tank with that hit. Therefore, Anthony Griffith's day is done. Problem with Kurt Pliskin's car, you saw how much speed Alexis Rainsford just pulled by him on the straight. So there's something wrong with the 16 car. Dale Roswell playing bumper tag with Kurt Pliskin now. And wow. Little early to be doing that. That's someone who should know better than to make collisions like that on lap 2 of a 42-lap race. So Dale Roswell just dumped Kurt Pliskin. And that was ridiculous. Someone who should know better than to make... Wow, Robinson got collected. Great save by Justin Robinson. That was no rookie save in car 177. The Unit 11 team driver doing a great job, as we saw from Shane Lake's car. And I agree with the officials. Look at that, please. Arto Kekkonen is leading at the end of lap 2. Behind him is Adrian Devereaux in that blue, black, and orange 26th. And then Delgado. Davenport's held on to 10th. Leon Kennison up to 14th. Patrick Eichholz and Avery Holtzman, the major heroes on the start. There's D'Souza. Borland. Scott Bates has jumped up to 26th place, and Alexis Rainsford in 29th. Tony Durbin in 30th. So Durbin not having a great run so far. Shane Lake. And, of course, all the other cars not shown on there. Hawk Slider and co. all had some problem or another. Here's Hawk Slider in that 70 car. Here's why he wasn't shown on the scoring ticker, because he brought the Duncan into the pits after that little schmozzle on the first lap. Chris Davenport in the candy-colored 28 car is not necessarily playing nice with Alan Hodges there. Some people said that Davenport's driving was perhaps some kind of team order from Volpe, but to be fair, Chris has been doing that to everyone indiscriminately. He's been all over the place this weekend. Arto Kekkonen is really attacking the curbs. Adrian Devereaux has a shot, but Devereaux doesn't take it. A little early to be taking risks, according to Mr. Devereaux. Now here's Chris Davenport again, alongside Alan Hodges. And Davenport trying to make an aggressive move coming. Oh, they make contact. They lock fenders. They're in the wall. Davenport goes flipping on the third lap of the race. Wow. It had just rained here. So, and there are some rather large bumps in the grass, and I suspect Davenport hit those, and the front end of the car may have dug in. And that's obviously what happened there, because I don't see any other reason why that car would have launched into the air like that. Alan Hodges' championship bid, though, is done, and really Davenport was making a very aggressive move on Hodges, but in Davenport's own defense, he's really been... his career was sort of in doubt, because Volpe was saying, Cyril Volpe, his team owner, said he wouldn't support Alexis Rainsford's Team Lights team if Davenport didn't have a good showing. So a lot of pressure on Davenport, and I have a feeling he might have cracked like an egg. Tony Durbin and Elmer Fox a little further back in the field. Durbin runs the corner wide and spears into the side of Fox. Tony Durbin's day going sour, and this has not been one of Durbin's better tracks, even though I think the Sar Eagle was very well suited to this track. Tony Durbin just under a lot of pressure as well, and after a very bad first lap, tried to be a bit too heroic and ended up throwing it into the scenery. On board, Tony Durbin's car just runs it too wide. Fox took a chance, but Durbin just speared into the side of him, took both off the track. I don't think Durbin was terribly happy with Fox, but I think this was pretty much his own fault. Very strange mistake to see Tony Durbin make, especially now when it matters the most. Back up with Tom Delgado running in third place. I had mentioned earlier that he was re-signed by Star Team Nemoto along with Yamino Tenchi to run those two cars in 2011. And Takumi Katashima, the team owner, has got to look like a genius, because Tom Delgado was a driver who was basically on his last legs. It was clear that if this deal with Nemoto didn't work out, that he was probably not going to stay in the Master Cup Series. And he's done a fantastic job this year, has made the Nemoto work, and he has developed the team around him and Yamino Tenchi, and Tom Delgado is really one to watch next year. Leonid Roderick in car number 4 is working his way to the front. Some of the title protagonists have already had problems. Leonid Roderick, despite being 61 points out of the lead, not entirely eliminated yet. It's going to be a stretch for Roderick to win championship number 5, but if Adrian Devereaux has a problem, it's not impossible. So Roderick, hoping that Devereaux has some kind of issue, which, seeing what the race has been like so far, is not impossible. Oh, Patrick Eichholz in the 231 and Serena Baccharo in that blue and white car having problems. Looks like Eichholz just didn't brake enough in turn 1 and just plowed into the back of Baccharo. He's going to lose a spot to Holtzman. Lots of damage to the Eichholz E231 car. That's an in-house car. So you got to give him a lot of credit just for getting that car on the field, but he tried to come from way too far back, brake too late, ran into the back of Baccharo's car, and for someone who's had a fairly anonymous weekend, that's not what he wanted. Philip Borland from 20th spins off the track in the Gold Cobra 199. So Borland on lap 7 throws it into the scenery, and he rejoins the race. Shane Lake, same thing, same lap, same... Wow, he missed his braking point by a lot. Shane Lake making his debut, coming under a lot of pressure. Scott Stoyler, he has no rear end left, so I think I can understand why that car would have spun out. No rear end on that car, pretty much. There's Devereaux running in second. He's going to try Arto to the outside. Tom Delgado says, "Hey, thank you very much, monsieur. I'll be taking second now." So Tom Delgado moves into P2. Lap 9, Arto Kekkonen is in the lead of the race. And here he comes across the stripe with Delgado and Devereaux keeping up. Ashby in 4th, Johans in 5th, Bouvier 6th. There is Mike Whitmore up to 8th. Going a bit further back, there's... Oh, I think Ashby's in trouble. Holtzman is up to 16th. Jared Anderson and Gasper D'Souza having great runs. Sykesy in 12th. Scott Bates in 21st. Alexis Rainsford in 23rd. There's Hamilton West. Dale Roswell in 25th place. On the ticker, Ashby is off the track, though. So Zelda Ashby is going to drop to the field despite a fantastic start to this race. Yeah, just braked way too late. Came under pressure from Chris Johans. And Johans is very good at passing, so probably just cracked under pressure for Ashby, which is a very rare mistake for her to make. Ethan Everett's been off the track more than once. He's in 32nd place. Does he have anything to lose by pitting early? Absolutely not. So Everett jumps into the pit lane from 32nd. Here's Alexis Rainsford, probably the most... probably is the car that Adrian Devereaux is going to be wanting to keep an eye on, because Alexis Rainsford, of course, is higher than Devereaux in the points coming into this race. However, as of right now, Devereaux's championship. As a rookie, can you believe that? But Alexis Rainsford is the car that Devereaux really has to worry about. Alan Hodges is out, Drew Eisenman and Tony Durbin are both going backwards. Here is Tony Durbin, by the way, and his race is going absolutely sour. He is significantly off the pace. Couple about almost a half second slower than the leading cars. So Tony Durbin, really, what can you say? This is really rare to see Team Star USA drop the ball like this. Marcus Leonard knows that he has to pit to repair some of that damage because he's losing too much time, so he brings car number 999 into the pit lane on lap 11. Elmer Fox and Drew Eisenman coming into the pits as well. They're a little far back, so they're rolling the dice. And okay. Fox apparently didn't realize Eisenman had the last pit stall, bumped into the back of him. Here's Shane Lake, who is the first car the leaders are going to come put a lap down. Scott Stoidler... Huh? Anyway. Scott Stoidler and Drew Eisenman were both lapped in the pits, along with Elmer Fox. So Shane Lake is the first car that they're actually catching on the racetrack. Shane Lake, not exactly being terribly courteous to the leaders, but then again, I don't think he's really been in a situation where he's had to move over for a leader before. So let's give him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt for now. So Arto Kekkonen really going to have to work on a rookie here. Here's Drew Eisman. Wow, Eisman goes wide. He's into the wall. He got hit by the 041 of Stojanovic. Drew Eisenman's title hopes done. And of course, he won't be back because he's going into the Marines. So Eisenman's Master Cup career as of now not ending terribly well. Lap 15, Arto Kekkonen turns up the pressure on Shane Lake, and Lake predictably makes a mistake. Whoa! Yeah, that was close. Shane Lake has a unique way of moving over for the leaders by throwing it into the scenery. So Arto having a fairly interesting run so far. Alexis Rainsford up to 20th, I should note. And you'll also notice that Hamilton West is in 21st in the Juno. And we believe the Juno, which is Inglesby's luxury division, gets the best fuel economy out here. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Here's Avery Holtzman in the 94, going a bit wide, gets hit by Anderson. Oh, hang on to it. Holtzman saves it. Avery Holtzman saves that car, brings it back onto the track. Not sure if he's happy with Jared Anderson or not. I would suggest he didn't take it that kindly and is not giving Anderson a whole lot of room. Now here comes Arto Kekkonen trying to get around Stephanie McGlynn in the 37. McGlynn's Master Cup career in serious doubt in that first... Oh! There goes Devereaux! Look at that! Adrian Devereaux gets by Delgado and Arto in the snake and takes over the lead! Wow! Adrian Devereaux, very, very ambitious. A risky move. He took it and it paid off. It paid off massively because Devereaux is pulling away a little bit. as McGlynn, whose Master Cup career is in doubt because she has not been re-signed by that team, sort of did hold up Arto coming into the snake. Delgado reacted. Look how far back he came from. There goes Devereaux, just makes the snake perfectly, picture perfect, goes 3 wide coming out, which normally equals a wreck, and makes the pass stick. Now, that was a champion's move. That could determine the championship. Here's Leonid Roderick in the 4, Chris Johans in the 24. Note, they've caught Arto Kekkonen in the 14, and so has Jacques Bouvier in the 59. So, perhaps we'll see a 6-car battle for the lead, but it looks like Stephanie McGlynn is not exactly being the most courteous backmarker out there in the 37 car. And here's another car that might be a bit of an obstacle, that blue and white car of Serena Bacchero. Adrienne Devereaux has been complaining about Bacchero all weekend. Now let's see. If I'm Serena Bacchero, there's the leader. He's the guy that's been not too nice to me in the press. Yeah, let's not make his life any easier and just hog the racing line. Serena Bacchero finally lets Devereaux go, but cost him a lot of time. And, oh wow, not playing terribly nice with Tom Delgado in the 837 car either. Almost pinches him over. Delgado very aware of Bacchero. And Bacchero not being the best backmarker either. Elmer Fox, U.S. racing legend. Never started a Master Cup race. Oldest driver to ever start one. His misery of a race continues. He throws it off on lap 17. They warned him for erratic driving. I really don't think that's fair, seeing how old he is. Now here is Chris Johans and Arto Kekkonen doing battle. Leonid Roderick takes advantage, gets around Johans. Mike Whitmore in that yellow 20 car has joined the battle. Mike Whitmore will join Tony Durbin at Team Star USA next year. Michael Sykes in car 12 won the Independence Trophy this year. 12th, 12th, 14th, and 14th were his 4 results that counted towards it. And he's got a one-off drive for Majestic Motorsports, replacing the injured Matt Taylor, and he's doing a great job. And he is on pace to get a career best finish, which means he could be looking at his first career top 10. So the Welshman proving why he is a future Master Cup star. And for someone who is already the Leonid Roderick of British touring cars, didn't have a successful stint in German supercars, he's doing a fantastic job out here in the Majestic Motorsports 12 car in a one-off showing for this team. Great morale boost for Michael and for his future employer, Bill Barclay, and a British car company, STS. Now here is Tony Durbin holding up Alexis Rainsford. Gee, I didn't think I'd see this all day. Well, I mean, I thought I'd see these 2 cars come together, but I didn't actually think Tony Durbin would decide I'm just gonna, hold up Alexis Rainsford for a little bit. No, I didn't see that coming at all. Alexis is none too impressed, as you can probably tell. She's been on Durbin's bumper for a little bit, gives him a shot going up the hill, at the top of the hill, gets by him with the old school bump and run, the old school short track bump and run. Not exactly a favorite among road racers, however. Alexis, though, using it to great effect. Stephanie McGlynn in the 37 right here is still getting in people's way, but apparently she's been told that the leaders are coming, so she's been a bit more gracious than when we saw her holding up the top 10 a bit. Hamilton West just does not have the speed to get by her, so he results to turning her into the wall. Hard hit from McGlynn, and that's going to take Stephanie McGlynn out of the race. Tony Durbin again misses the chicane, tries to go back on track, and gets turned around by Dale Roswell. Durbin's race is continuing to go bad. Adrienne Devereaux hits the pits from the lead on lap 30. Tom Delgado follows Devereaux into the pits. And on Leonid Roderick stays out an extra lap, pits at the end of lap 31. So Roderick is going to get up that point for leading a lap. Matthias Taub, Jacques Bouvier, and Yamino Tenchi stay out until lap 32. Taub is leading. There's Bouvier right by. Oh, Tenchi is off! Oh, Yamino Tenchi's race has gone bad. She stayed out too long on old tires. Threw it into the Delano signs over there. And there's a reason why that is probably one of their more profitable advertisement places. Now that's Tenchi over there. Now here's Devereaux leaving the pits. So that should tell you that Adrienne Devereaux and his pit crew had a completely awesome pit stop in that 26 pit. So Devereaux, a massive lead so far, attacking the curbs quite aggressively. Tom Delgado and the Nemoto team one of their better pit stops, but that's still not enough because the Hodges-Walter team is doing a great job when it comes to the pit service on Adrian Devereaux's car. Mike Whitmore in 7th. Kingston having a very solid run. There is Nasova and Bates. This has been a pretty good battle for the past couple of laps. Scott Bates is apparently getting a little tired of Nasova. That's not the bump. It was close. Oh, they made contact, though. Oh, Nasova spins. Bates turns Nasova into the wall and back up into traffic. Arto gets a piece of that. Arto Kekkonen. Very slow pit stop on the 14 car. Now here's Bouvier getting turned around by Serena Bacchero. Bouvier was going to miss the chicane, but Bacchero also did and got into the 59. Serena Bacchero has not been on the officials. The officials haven't really been too fond of Bacchero this weekend, apparently. And not hard to see why. Avery Holtzman in 11th in car 94 in the Gessler. And you know what that means? That 12th car, Michael Sykes, is in 10th. So the Welshman looking at his first top 10, and the Gessler looking at a top 10 in its first start. They were supposed to run the round of Russia, but of course they had all sorts of problems and never took the start. So it's not really counted as a start, you might say. Second race weekend, though. Scott Bates in P7. Jacques Bouvier is in right behind the Gessler of Holtzman now. Bates in 7th is right behind Lewis Kingston in the Launch Cherry 44. And Kingston having another solid run. Kingston always has gone well on the high-speed road courses. Of course, he won at Road America. And Scott Bates, if he doesn't win this race, it'll be his first winless season ever. Hard to imagine, but Bates has driven the life out of that EFR journey and is making it work for him. Here's Arto Kekkonen. Little rear end damage. I'm not sure where that came from. May have been from in the pits, but of course, there's that right side damage from the 7 car. Here's Elmer Fox in the car, 138. This is very late in the race. Sykesy makes an aggressive move. Fox gets in the way, and Sykesy almost has to take to the grass to miss him. And Sykesy actually did make contact with Elmer Fox. Here's Matthias Taub in the 38 car. He's not too fond of Elmer Fox, and Fox gets a rather rude showing and just gets dumped by Taub. Of course, Fox was a couple laps down and was... had some rather unique lines, but that's a sad way for Elmer Fox's lifelong dream of starting a Master Cup race to end. Oh boy. So Elmer Fox out very late in the race. There's Taub slowing a bit. There's Alexis Rainsford and Alexei Stoyanovich making great runs towards the end of the race, along with Gasper de Souza in that green and red car back there. I think that's Dale Roswell as well, along with Jared Anderson, if I'm not mistaken, in the 910 car. So some great runs here by some cars that started a little further back. Here is Jared Anderson. That's Leon Keniston, actually, right in front of him. Now, this is a fantastic run for an Arla team with a driver that nobody thought had really could hack it in the TM Master Cup Series. It only took a Decatur debut to prove them wrong, because Jared Anderson is doing a fantastic job. Despite that, it's a little stilted because this was the test track for the Omeka MA01, the primary test track. So the car he's driving was sort of constructed with this exact circuit in mind. However, despite that, he's doing a great job for a very underfunded operation. Scott Bates in the Team EFR 88, still chasing down Kingston, trying to go around Serena Bacchero, who has jammed up this entire battle for quite some time and has really prevented them from making a charge at Tom Delgado or Leonid Roderick. And there's Serena Bacchero, who has been, the most mobile chicane I've seen in a while, and has kept Mike Whitmore behind her. She's a lap down, which I think is kind of ridiculous. She's not going to get that lap back unless something really weird happens. And something really weird didn't happen. Adrian Devereaux, though, in car number 26, had a serene way home to the checkered flag to take home TM Master Cup Series win number 2. So the Frenchman racks up his second career win in his first season. Tom Delgado finished in second, Leonid Roderick in third, Chris Johans a solid fourth, Mike Whitmore, Lewis Kingston, Arto Kekkonen, Whitmore to Bates were jammed up behind Serena Bacchero. Chris Johans also got stuck behind Bacchero at one point. Avery Holtzman brought the Gessler home in ninth, and Jacques Bouvier and Michael Sykes had a spirited battle on the last lap, with Bouvier emerging victorious. And now for what we have all waited for. The 2010 TM Master Cup Series Drivers' Champion is